that would come down, pick them up, and they'd all be keyed so that they would drop into their proper place from the back up there. So you'd be recycling the mats all the time.
And what are some of the magazines and things that do they put out?
There'd be different types of magazines, there'd be different sizes, there'd be different types, there'd be different front the game.
Was it a noisy machine?
Yes, it was. It was, but not as noisy as the presses downstairs.
Yeah.
But there's the keyboard down there.
You would just lift the magazine off, put it over there, put another magazine on, and you would have to change your magazine.
Yeah.
There are 90 buttons on this board.
Did you have to have strong fingers to be able to press those down?
You got used to it.
Yeah.
There's 90 buttons on this keyboard. There's lowercase, there's capitals, and then there's fixed space in the middle. So there's 90 buttons there, and here you would have different things like double FI, double FL, or anything like that, which would not be in here, but you could just feed them in as you needed. And they had space bands, which, as you pushed the thing down, it got wider as it went down. So that was why all of the lines were perfectly from side to side. It was that way. But to look at this machine, I think to myself, I punched, well, they call it punching the keyboard. I punched the keyboard for 25 years. And to see a machine in this condition almost brings tears to your eyes.
Yeah.
Exactly the same machine?
This is a model, either a Model 5 or a Model 7.
Yeah.
And I started on a Model 5, and I would use a Model 5, Model 7, a Model 22, a Model 48. And
I think the lady was asking, was this the machine?
no, this is not the machine that I operate. No, this is not the machine that I operate.
And your fingers today, because that would have been hard pushing, how is your
No, you
fingers?
just had to touch them.
Very light.
If you held a key down,
Yeah.
it would empty every mat. If you've got, for argument's sake, well, it used to be ETAOI and SHRDLU on the keyboard. If, for argument's sake, you pressed E and held the key down, all the matrix E's would just keep coming down. So you had to touch it gently, but you had to be fast. The average output was 8,000 N's. As spaces and letters is called an N. It was 8,000 N's an hour. I got up to 12,000 N's an hour.
Wow.
But I got very well paid for it.
They bought your machine in the end because they
Yeah, well, I had a disagreement with my boss,
Yeah.
and I was ready to leave, and they turned around and they said, look, don't do that. So it was made up of Sydney Melbourne Publishing Company and Pacific Publications. So they bought my machine, and the difference was I got paid in the morning instead of in the afternoon, but I didn't have to answer the pig that was my boss. I could get away with just doing what I like, But,
And this was hot? How did this get heated, this metal?
well, there's an element down there. Every morning we would lift this off, and we would clean the dross off there, and down from here would be an ingot hanging down and into there.
What was the metal made of?
It was a mixture of alum. What do they call it? I can't remember what they used to call
Alloy or aluminium?
it. It was
or-
very soft. In fact, we used to, when we'd get it finished with the type, we'd throw it into a big pot and we'd melt it down again into the ingots. So we recycled it all the time. But
Wasn't aluminum.
no, it was alum or something. Yeah, I can't remember what they called. I never worried about what they called. All I knew that I needed it.
We're very lucky to have him here today.
We have our copy here, so you'd be looking at the copy, at the keyboard, and at the gate, as they call it. So I never needed glasses until I left the printing industry. And then when I left the industry, within 12 months, I needed glasses because I wasn't exercising my eyes. But they were great days.
You got a special light there?
Well, you had.
That one there looks like a...
There used to be a light here,
All right.
no globe in it. That would shine on
And
the
this
keyboard.
one here?
No,
That's not it. That's something else.
That's for the back.
Oh,
But they were a wonderful machine.
yeah, it's fascinating.
PKIU in Vogue then, or not?
Were they ever? In fact, the
They were
fellow's
strongest
name
in the
was
country, weren't they?
was, what was his name? I can't think of the secretary of the union. And he was a pushover. He was a pushover. He was. But I remember one time we were having a dispute because one of the magazines, in fact, was Rugby League Week, would not allow the union in to check the books to make sure that people were being. And we had to all come together and decide what was happening. And there was suggestions made. But what tickled the daylights out of me was the newspaper men. They turned around and they said, "No, don't ban him. Let him get all of his stuff set. Let him get it all ready and all to go onto the presses. Let it all be locked up," because it was locked up in what they called a chase. Let him get it down to Compress, who printed it. Let them get it onto a machine, run one proof and then declare it black. Then he'll have expended all his money. He'll have Compress on him wanting to get that machine into operation again. He'll come to... And I thought to myself, what a lot of rotters we've got in this industry.
And this over here?
Bill?
They're platens. They're for flyers and little things. There's a chase, that metal part around there, that's called a chase. And you lock it up in there solid and put it into there, and then you set it up to operate. They go back and forth on the ink pad.
Yep.
And if you don't get your fingers out the road, you get flat fingers.
It's a real press.
That is, and there's the loose type. That's what it replaced. That's what that replaced.
Yeah. So you used to have to sit there and pick out a letter and make up each word, letter at a time or whatever.
Naked was.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
I hated it.
Oh, it's fabulous. And where do you live now?
I live at Abbotsbury.
Oh, okay. Is that where you've always lived in Sydney?
No. When I was in the printing industry, I was living at Blues Point and Camberdown.
Okay. Yeah, in the city. Yeah.
But to see that now, it takes me a long way back.
Yeah, I bet it does.
But all of this,
What time frame are we talking?
1944, for 31 years.
Were you an
I was in the
apprentice?
I was apprentice, yes.
Yeah, what, 15 or 16?
Yeah, I left school at 16. I was apprentice. I was supposed to come out when I was 22 because I started late.
They're a 5-year apprenticeship.
Yeah. And what happened was that at my 4th year of apprenticeship, they put me on a machine and I was earning full money for the last 12 months of my apprenticeship.
Well, we laugh about it now because we all, at school, they used to do an assumption of what you were going to be when you left school, and that we were going to be industrial engineers and mechanical, all this sort of thing. 14 of my schoolmates went into the printed industry. 14 out of the class.
Printing was very big.
No one had ever mentioned it.
28
Strongest
six-
As a potential career, you mean?
Yeah, never got mentioned.
28 and sixpence a week I got.
28 and sixpence.
Yeah, that was what.
As an apprentice, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that was big money.
And that was with that magazine business from day one?
Yeah, I
You
was-
stayed with them for the whole
I
time?
started my apprenticeship with them, and when I got out of my time, I gave my notice in, and they turned around and they said, stay with us and we'll top the money that you're going to get. And I was just out of my apprenticeship. And I mean, that was good money, so I thought. And I remember walking down the street with my first overtime, money in my pocket, the first night I'd worked overtime. And this lady spoke to me and I said, I beg your pardon. She said, do you want to come and spend some money? I said, not with you, thank you very much indeed.
So it wasn't an offer you couldn't refuse after all.
Bill, I got a fly, I got a grand